It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's the opener of the 2023 NFL season, as it'll be the Dragons of San Diego taking on the New Orleans Saints. New season of NFL football is here, and we're off in 2023 on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. In his 7th season now, here's Alvin Kamara. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
93.
On play action, it's Carr. Finding Taysom Hill complete. The end result, 21 yards.
Now he can exhale. His season is officially underway. Plenty of work done during the offseason, camp, and the preseason that led to that first throw of the year.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Carr. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down. Chris Olave, the intended receiver, but it's going to be second down. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And he's going to ball his way forward to the 48. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Now Carr. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Carr will try it again on 2nd down. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
Well, that's the 2nd time in this opening drive alone that he's dropped a pass. We know that that can't continue, but they got to determine what it's about. Is he just super amped for the game and maybe he'll settle in, or is his focus just not there?
Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd.
Well, it certainly appears that they're going to try and keep getting him the football. That's the 3rd time they've looked in his direction. Unfortunately, haven't completed one yet, but I'm not sure they're going to shy away from him. They feel like they've got something there, and they want to capitalize on it.
I think you're right. We're only in the 1st quarter, so a lot of opportunities ahead. Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week one. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
They'll take over first down and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38.
Willis looking to throw it. That's complete. It's Devin Duvernay.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Well, partner, that's the start that you want right there. And you know he spent the entire offseason throwing hundreds, I'd probably say thousands of passes, getting ready for that moment. The first throw of the new season. He's dreamed about it, thought about it, and now it's out of the way.
1 for 1, a lot more to go.
A man who played collegiately at nearby Tulane, it's Tajay Spears.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while, because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
From the 44-yard line, here's 2nd and 2.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Now Willis to throw. Going to the right here and finding Burks.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Play fake. Here's Willis. This will go to Henry out wide.
Past the 20.
Down the right sideline. Trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line.
It's a big play there. And even 40 yards.
A chance for their first points of the season here as it's 1st and goal. Henry. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make 2nd down pretty tough.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's a quick throw completed by Willis.
Touchdown!
Devin Duvernay.
A 5-yard touchdown.
And the Dragons are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first quarter lead.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his 2nd season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And one of the things we like to hit on every year are the new rule changes. And we got a few for 2023. A lot are procedural, having to do with deadlines and roster construction and such. But two kind of caught my eye, Charles. One is the option to fair catch a kickoff and have it come out to the 25 like it does in college. You like that?
I don't like it at all. I don't like it in college. I don't like it in the NFL. I want to have something different, and I really wanted the special teams coaches to be a little bit more involved. But I do understand why the league is doing it. They believe it promotes safety, and it's hard to argue against that.
What about, this is the other one, guys can now wear the number 0. We've already seen some make the switch, Calvin Ridley, DeAndre Swift, Braxton Berrios, amongst others.
Yeah, and you know something, when you see those guys make that move, I don't mind that at all right? A little more expressionism for these guys. I love it. I just think we didn't go far enough. What about 00, like Jim Otto used to wear or Kenny Burrow used to wear? Let's add that back to the NFL jerseys.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Amani Hooker, and he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach on the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long, and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Gets it out wide quickly. Burks with it.
And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down. Now a timeout called for by the defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
From the 22 now, here's the 2nd and 8. Now Willis on the bootleg.
And he'll just get rid of it. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8.
Here's Willis now off the play fake. Open man is Duvernay.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
Get it.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. He gets this down to the 3, but no further. Brought the power run out of the bag and got a couple extra yards with it. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
Out of the gun to give to Spears.
And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports.
A big play if you think about it right now in this season opener. It's 3rd and goal.
Trying to punch it in with Henry. Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh, right? Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive, in particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to want to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Throwing his car on 3rd down.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu.
So rare to see any quarterback toss back-to-back interceptions in the NFL, regardless of status or experience. Whether it's him personally or just the offensive game plan, I think this defense is reading something out there, and they're holding the upper hand.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10.
Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. So as they take it over, we step aside. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. He'll buy some time right.
That's complete. It's Josh Wiley.
An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
But give them credit for a good read right there because they read the man coverage on the right side and sent the tight end a few steps down the field and then angled him to the left on a crossing route. And he was able to get enough separation on this play to turn it into a nice gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
He'll get that out wide to Duvernay.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
Second down, here's Willis. And brought in downfield by Burks.
It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Right back to the air again with Willis. He'll get that complete to Dowell.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
One thing I do know that offensive linemen like, they like a guy who's carrying the ball that will take what is blocked. Not try and create a big play and maybe take a loss, not try and go where the blocking isn't.
And he will take this one in for a touchdown.
Tajay Spears
with his first career touchdown in his first career game.
And the Dragons go up by 2 touchdowns.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9 yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Carr. His throw incomplete.
This defense is going to have to finish the job. There's still a second half that they have to play. But so far, an absolute total effort. They've disrupted the passing game, stretched the pocket for the quarterback. They forced him into errant throws. Everything they're doing has been executed well.
Now Carr. And that is incomplete.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And a nice gain of 21 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Ready? Ready?
To the air on 1st down. Here's Willis. This one downfield to Burks. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 35 yards the game there. Another 1st down as well.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield that can...
And it's caught. Touchdown. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Dragons are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From his end zone, here's Rashid Shaheed. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least 1 practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. 10 yards, good for his Saints, 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Meanwhile, Carr's throw caught by his receiver, Hill. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Brings up 2nd and 2 at the 41-yard line.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it, so on comes the field goal unit. And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it, and the deficit drops now from 21 down to 18. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. Past midfield. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown.
Well, he made the right choice by result, but a little bit surprising because now with touchbacks coming back to the 25 instead of the 20, when guys fielded that deep in the end zone, I think most coaches want them to take a knee.
Yeah, it's resulted in more kneel downs. Not right there. Point after, right down the middle. And they open the lead up now to 25. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend.
It's a new season,
Orlando,
so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after their first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. Now, the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a
Derrick Henry all alone. He may go. And touchdown. Derrick Henry, 69 yards. And the Dragons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Now a timeout here, at least for the moment. Looks like one of the Saints is injured, shaken up on that last play. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. Kamara up the middle. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. Well, this defense, they've got the 4-score advantage, and you can see why they continue to bottle up the run game, and really they've just been sharp in all facets here in this one, CD.
Yeah, they've kept that offense in check the entire game, and I think it's been led by what you just talked about, that defensive front, which has not allowed them to run the football and establish control of the line of scrimmage.
Well, hang on now. We're going to pause here. We've got an injured player. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout.
93.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off by Christian Fulton.
And this one will be brought back to the 22.
This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
Finding space at the 40.
A big play there on the catch and run, and it'll give them a fresh set of downs.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On 1st and 10, it's Spears.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here.
24 yards the game there. Another 1st down as well.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get them. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for them. Show them that you're supposed to get the football.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry.
And he'll get this just inside the 30-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
And nowhere to run for Willis. He goes down.
Wreaking havoc was Nathan Shepard, the D tackle.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
So look at this. Here's the field goal unit coming out, and he is going to need to bomb this one. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle.
Charles, even as long field goals become more and more common, this is still very rarefied air. Only just over 20 field goals have been kicked from 60 yards or further, and you can add his name to the list now.
And as calm as he tried to present himself, there's no doubt there were some nerves as he lined up to attempt that kick. But once the ball was snapped, he just swept the leg and boom, over the crossbar.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense.
Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I'm getting the sense that this offense is getting frustrated. Here we are into the 3rd quarter, and they've had plenty of opportunities to get in sync. Thus far, that hasn't happened. They're looking for answers both on the sidelines and in the huddle looking at each other.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Afitu Melifonwu. And they'll take possession already in the red zone and in a great spot to add points to the scoreboard.
And, Brandon, how many times have we seen a defense with a lot of field behind them get even more aggressive, right? They feel like they've got them not pinned down, but in a favorable spot for them. And they took advantage of it there, got a nice interception, and set up their offense in great shape.
Hand off to Spears.
Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
On second down, here's Henry. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Back at the 26-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
On the return, the Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Kamara.
Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. 2nd down.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7.
Throwing now is Carr. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas.
He's into space past the 25.
And all the way down to the 17-yard line. A big-time play there for New Orleans. 41 yards.
1st and 10 at the 17-yard line.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. They'll pound it up the middle with Kamara. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Add this game to the last one, and they moved the ball over 50 yards in 2 plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
Kamara is not going to advance very far. He'll be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
Now Carr throwing on 2nd down. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable fourth quarter lead. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. 89 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. Demario Davis there on the stop.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Really good effort. He does it himself, picks up 15, also picks up the first down.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time first down. But I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold. And finally, the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right. His longest run of the game waited till the fourth quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. Meanwhile, Willis, that's taken in by Okonkwo. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
Come on.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. Willis saw the option to the right. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 6. That's taken in by Duvernay. He'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Let's go.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 32-yard line. Just a little too lackadaisical, Charles, and they didn't get up and snap the ball in time. Delay of game.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if he understood where the clock was located. In different stadiums, it's in different places. You have to check that in pregame and make sure you're aware so you don't run into penalties like these.
This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through the...
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Down the left sideline. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week one because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. These fans just kind of beside themselves right now. 47 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Monday, now!
On first down, Carr. To the right side and complete to Thomas. 15 more yards there and quickly another first down. Well, a touchdown here on this drive, it wouldn't really put much of a dent in the score, the deficit right now. But as you mentioned in the past, CD, their coach is probably just hoping to see something executed correctly on this drive before we close out the ball game.
Yeah, and I think that every guy who's on the field has to feel exactly the same way, because if not, they might be looking for replacements. Treat every drive as if it's your last and make it a successful one in some small way.
Here's 2nd and 10.
7:34.
Carr. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. Another great play defensively. They've been sharp on both sides of the ball, Charles, but that interception means that this defense very well keep them down to single digits on the scoreboard in this game.
And that's certainly something to smile about, isn't it, partner, if you're on defense? Because your goal every game is to pitch a shutout, but you and I both know that's pretty unrealistic. But to hold a team below double figures in a game, in an NFL game, that's certainly something to take pride in.
Nathan Shepard in there to make the tackle.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync. And the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Ready.
Again, it's Henry. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. First down, San Diego.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week one, and one of our early window games here in week one on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record. But everyone's got to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between week 1 and week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for our visitors, it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And they will